Carmine Persico, also known by his moniker The Snake, was not only a notorious name in the American Mafia, but also a living embodiment of the criminal evolution within the underworld. His life, marred by a litany of criminal activities, encapsulated the volatile essence of organized crime from the mid-20th century until his death in 2019. Born on the 8th of August 1933 in Brooklyn, New York, Persico grew up in a world steeped in the struggles of the Great Depression. The rough neighborhoods of Red Hook were his playground, and the familial strains provided a backdrop that was all too common in stories of young men gravitating towards the illicit allure of organized crime. Although information about his early life is limited, it's known that Persico was one of several children, and his environment during these formative years was pivotal in shaping his future path. The Colombo crime family, one of the infamous 5 families of New York, became Persico's adoptive fraternity. He was officially inducted into the world of La Cosa Nostra in his early 20s, pledging his allegiance to an organization that was steeped in tradition, violence, and a code of silence known as omertà. It wasn't long before Persico began to climb the ranks of the Colombo family, showing a particular knack for leadership and a ruthless approach to handling the family's adversaries. The Colombo crime family, established as one of the 5 families that dominated organized crime activities in New York City, has a tumultuous history marked by internal strife and power struggles. Originally founded by Joe Profaci in 1928, the family operated a range of criminal enterprises, including gambling, loan sharking, and racketeering. Carmine Persico's foray into the Colombo family's operations began with his precautious entry into the world of organized crime. With a quick mind for the intricate dance of mob politics and a fierce reputation on the streets, Persico's role within the family rapidly evolved. He adeptly managed his own crew, overseeing illicit activities that filled the family's coffers and expanded their influence. However, the peace within the family was precarious. The early 1960s saw the first significant leadership struggle that would set the stage for Persico's rise. After the assassination of the family's then leader Albert Anastasia and the subsequent imprisonment of boss Joe Profaci, a vacuum of power initiated a violent and chaotic period known as the First Colombo War. Persico, with his loyalty still to the Profaci faction, demonstrated his ruthlessness and strategic acumen by aligning himself with the winning side of the conflict. It was during these conflicts that Persico began to show his capability for leadership, as well as a merciless streak that would define his approach to maintaining power. His involvement in the war, particularly his role in orchestrating hits on rival faction members, signaled his commitment to ascend within the family's hierarchy. By the time the dust settled, Persico had emerged as a key player. His unyielding loyalty to Profaci, coupled with his own ambition, facilitated his rise to the position of capo. As a capo, Persico commanded fear and respect in equal measure, running his crew with an iron fist and ensuring that profits continued to flow upward. His tactical prowess in navigating the family's internal politics also meant that when the Second Colombo War broke out in the early 1970s, Persico was well positioned to assert himself further. The 1980s brought forth Persico's most significant legal challenge, the Mafia Commission trial. Persico's involvement in the Commission, a governing body for the American Mafia that included the leaders of the most powerful New York crime families, put him in the crosshairs of federal prosecutors. The Commission had been established to resolve disputes and direct the various families' activities, effectively functioning as a board of directors for organized crime. The historic Mafia Commission trial, which took place in 1986, was a landmark moment in the legal pursuit of organized crime. Persico, alongside other prominent Mafia bosses, faced a slew of charges, including racketeering, murder, and other criminal activities that fell under the RICO Act. Persico took the audacious step of acting as his own attorney, displaying a level of self-assurance that was extraordinary given the stakes. Although his efforts were spirited, they were ultimately unsuccessful. Persico was convicted and sentenced to what amounted to life in prison. Despite the physical limitations imposed by incarceration, Persico's influence did not wane. He continued to control the Colombo family's operations from behind bars, with the help of loyalists on the outside. This concept of a prison boss was not entirely new, but Persico's level of command from prison was remarkable. He was able to make crucial decisions and direct the family's activities through messages and visits. This mode of leadership ensured that Persico remained a central figure in the family, dictating strategies and resolving disputes from the cell. His role as a prison boss demonstrated not only Persico's enduring power, but also the deep-rooted loyalty he commanded within the Colombo ranks. The very fact that he could manage his criminal empire from a cell testified to his ingenuity and the unwavering dedication of his followers. It was a testament to his fearsome reputation and the authority he wielded, regardless of the bars that confined him. This dynamic further entrenched the Colombo family's operations in a cycle of violence and treachery, as Persico's remote leadership would often lead to conflicts within the family and, ultimately, lead to the Third War amongst the Colombos in the 1990s. Carmine Persico passed away on the 7th of March 2019 at the age of 85, after serving more than 30 years of his 136-year prison sentence. His death marked the end of an era for the Colombo crime family and the American Mafia at large. His long-standing role as a leader despite his incarceration had left an indelible mark on the structure and operations of the family. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history of one of America's most notorious crime bosses, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that uncovers the intricate tapestry of our nation's past.